Good morning. Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. My name is Jay Clifton Payne, and I want to welcome you to Things You Might Have Heard. I'm ready to present to you yesterday's latest in information, current events, pop culture, and politics news. This is your go to supplemental source for both mainstream and unconventional news stories with a little added context to the mix, with 8 stories in the queue from the past day that you vetted as conversational, and we crafted into this newscast for the morning because it's going live at 5:50 a.m. Central Time around the world on this Wednesday, the 24th of January. If you like it, you can like it, love it, share it, all that great stuff there. We'll tell you how the vetting process works out, which includes liking, loving, and sharing, and give you some fun things for today. So make sure you stay to the end of the show so you get all the great stuff for today. Website is this. It's theconversationproject.com. More details about what we do all day long, all night actually, for the Conversation Project. And you can email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com anytime you like, because we want your feedback. Let's get into the stories. No particular order as they are. They just ended up in this route. So this is what we have. Although number one story for the day is actually number one story. And let's get to it immediately. Talking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden projected to win New Hampshire primary. Now the projection, as stated by many news sources, because, you have to actually count the votes, and it takes a little time to actually count and validate the votes. But although Nikki Haley had that crushing win in that first primary district of 6 people, it came down to about 11-point spread. Now, 11 points, the over-under on where she should stay in the race was about 10 points. So she's off that. So if you listen to her speech, she's saying we see positive movement. You listen to Trump's speech, he's like, why is she wearing an ugly dress and why is she dropping out the race? That's how we're seeing it. On the other side, a strong showing for Joe Biden, who actually technically wasn't even in the primary, not even technically, was not there because South Carolina is the first official primary. North Carolina technically doesn't even count. But Dean Phillips, as the man with a plan to win over the Democrats, got a chance to try to win over the Democrats in New Hampshire. Overwhelmingly right in ballots for Mr. Biden, saying that he's going to take that side as well. So it's working closer and closer to Trump versus Biden. Again, nobody wants this. Literally nobody wants this. Even the people voting for Trump probably do, but no one else, the people voting for Biden really rather had somebody else. But it's the inevitable, that word, fact that we're running into. Our next headline. Los Angeles Times lays off 115 people, DC Bureau decimated, union blast, brutal and inhumane job losses. We're going to talk more and more about job losses throughout the year. It's only January, and of course, this is a big story going forward. But as 2023 came to an end and right sizing became the thing again, because essentially all that real estate was being used, and so essentially they were getting rid of real estate, so why not get rid of some people as well? New York Times is, Los Angeles Times, I should say, is actually laying off a bunch of people. I heard a person talk yesterday saying that Times back about 15, 20 years ago was about 1,500 people strong. Now it's more like 300 people strong for the entire bureau for Los Angeles. In fact, there is no longer a bureau for DC, so there's no one covering it directly. So many of the satellite bureaus that keep things going are gone. Newspapers themselves are dying, but the news business itself is changing, and it's changing to more of a citizen journalism, which in the past seemed like it was something that should have actually supplemented what was going on, but right now is actually not doing the job that, unfortunately, the big, well-funded, backed up conglomerates can actually do. If you pay somebody well to go do stuff, they can do it. If you don't pay somebody well to go do stuff but do not know free time, it's not done quite as well. I can do this thing fairly good when I'm recapping things, going back and forth, but if I had a full-time sugar daddy paying for me to go out and cover news and write things up, do whatever, trust me, production value much, much better. That's your cue to stop by and be a sponsor. But we'll go into that a bit later. Let's talk about the story at number 3 this morning. The headline for that reads, WWE Raw is headed to Netflix in a deal worth more than $5 billion. We already know that the shift from the SmackDown brand is going off of Fox and moving into another level of stuff. The big thing was USA was moving away from the Monday Night Raw stuff, moving away from all the action they were doing for wrestling. Even though USA is pretty much synonymous with WWE and Raw for the 20, 30 years that the show has been on the air and the other satellite things they've done. Now they're moving to Netflix, which seems like a weird thing because Raw is a live 3-hour cable cable streaming show. But it is what it is. Netflix is trying to move into more sports entertainment, and this is a great grab for them. It also means you'll have to pay something to get WWE Raw, not so much your basic cable subscription or whatever you get for streaming. Big deal, how this is working, and $5 billion starting in 2025. No one knows exactly how the look and feel will be, but I am a staunch Raw watcher, although most of the time I'm watching it in replays. I watch maybe the first hour live, even if I'm at home, and watch the next 2 hours throughout the next couple of days to keep up with things. Having this thing on Netflix will be a game changer. Having the other brand of WWE is a game changer. Having the other brands of wrestling professionally that are out there in various spaces. It's also, we'll see what happens, whether AEW, the biggest competitor right now, will stick to cable, or will they go to someplace else? We'll see. As we see, coming in January 2025, Raw is on Netflix. No longer War, I guess, just on Netflix. Our fourth headline for this morning. Billy Joel announces turn the lights back on. Put some respect on that name. It's his first single in 17 years, so make sure you get that single right. Turn the Lights Back On is going to come out on February the 1st, a few weeks down, so look forward to your newest Billy Joel hit coming down in a few weeks. Are people asking for it? More people are asking for it than you think. Billy Joel is making a lot of money and a lot of prestige just doing his tours and doing his residency in New York City. But, in order to stay relevant, you've got to put out something new so often so you can, sell the old stuff. It is what it is. When Elton John put out his remixes of his old songs with new people, it brought up a lot of love for the old songs to newer people to understand that what's going on. So the old album sold, or streamed, if you will, because of the new mixes with new mixes with Britney Spears and folks like that. So Billy Joel has a brand new single coming out in about 2 weeks. Actually, about less than that. So check it out. It's called "Turn the Lights Back On." No real updates, no real teasers for it, but you'll hear it when you hear it, and you'll love it or you won't. The headline at number 5 this morning reads: Veteran CBS Sunday Morning Post. Veteran CBS Sunday morning host Charles Osgood dead at 91. It seems like my career is dying on the air with us right here. But let's get on to the story and work through this. And I'll fight with the robot editor in my script a little bit later. Charles Osgood, who can be confused for Charles Carrot, who actually started the show. Charles Osgood took it over for him, now being run by Jane Pauley. Known for his long tenure at the host as that show, CBS Sunday Morning, passed away at the age of 91. Recognized for his distinct voice and his bow ties, cherished figure on the program. He hosted that show for 22 years till he retired in 2016. He basically, for 40 plus years at CBS, did all the shows. Every single thing you could put him on TV or in the background for, he basically did all the work there. And as the ombudsman, essentially the overseer of things on Sunday morning, essentially always around so people can pick his brain for things, including after he retired in 2016. Big loss to the entertainment world, the news world, the world in general, of just a great person, Charles Osgood, at 91 years old. The story for headline number 6. Razor wire at border. Supreme Court says feds can remove barriers in Texas meant to block migrants. So the biggest issue we have right now is that the border patrols, people paid by the federal government to take care of the border, are having issues with the Texas government, the Texas National Guard, the Texas folks, who are doing what they can to literally kill the flood of migrants and killing some migrants in the process. My words, not theirs. They've erected all sorts of barriers across the river, across the land, to keep people out. While this seems like something Texas can do to keep people back, because people are doing things like swimming across a dangerous and raging river, when people need rescuing, they can't get to it. And because there's, razor wire to keep people down, a few people, including children, have perished because of this. The federal government now has the right via the Supreme Court to cut the wire and save the people, although Texas is not so happy about this. This is a much larger, much crazier issue than just saying the feds can now cut the wire and save people. This is an actual serious issue. There are border issues, and there should be ways to keep people from crossing the border from Mexico to the United States. There also should be safer ways of managing them and not just literally throwing them back into the river. This one will keep playing out in court. The number 7 story for this morning: Doomsday Clock 2024 time update to dire warning: nuclear war, climate change, and AI is in the mix. 90 seconds to midnight is the closest it's ever been to global catastrophe. Though they say that every year as it gets closer and closer to midnight. The Doomsday Clock was maintained by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists since 1947, and it was basically there because we were thinking about going to war with someone, what would it do in a case of war, how close we were to blowing each other up. Now it's other things that may doom us, including AI and climate change. 90 seconds to midnight. What it really means is a bit more complicated than I can explain in the 10 seconds I have left here. So check out the link into the story and go deeper into this story. And the final story for this morning, going into something that's fun, it is the Baseball Hall of Fame bringing in Adrián Beltré, Joe Mauer, and Todd Helton elected to the Hall of Fame. If you can watch the video, you can see the numbers in the slide of where people came out in this actual voting. Also being inducted in the Hall of Fame is manager Jim Leland. So 4 people going in. First time ballot for Adrián Beltré, 6th ballot for Todd Helton, first for Joe Mauer. Some people who did not make it and pretty prominent, but still getting close. Andrew Jones on the 7th ballot, only 60%. Carlos Beltran on his 2nd ballot, only 57%. Alex Rodriguez, 3rd ballot, 34%. You may understand why they're saying stuff like that. The closest, but not so far in this one, is Billy Wagner on his 9th ballot, going in at 73%. Gary Sheffield still not in there as well. His 10th ballot, 63%. No real serious errors, apologies, and omissions, other than the fact that if you're watching this, you've seen some things that are different. You can email us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com and let us know what it's looking like to you. Give us some feedback on that one as well. As far as a quick omission, a story we don't have time to get into because we're really running late today. Tencent Riot Games to lay off about 11% of its staff. Tencent is a company that is maintained in Shanghai in China. It owns a piece of ByteDance, but it doesn't actually own TikTok, which actually makes money. But their games division is not. They're laying off about 530 employees, 11% of its work staff. We'll see how this plays out in the actual bottom line for Tencent and in the gaming community. Many folks are losing jobs. Many gaming platforms, many gaming companies losing jobs because the money's just not there. The prestige is there, and it's sort of making even, if you will, but the big time money is not there where it had been in a while. It is what it is. Let's talk about our teaser story for this morning. This is a story that we could bring up tomorrow as a story you liked today. And it's simple. Go to our website and look for more details on how we do this, but go straight to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/thisisconversationproject and Twitter or X.com th_conversation, where you have every 50 minutes a new headline being posted every morning, all day, all night for you to engage in. Simply engage in it. Like it, love it, hate it, share it. The more you click and more you send on these things, the better chance you have to talk about these stories in the next iteration. Tomorrow, on Thursday, we'll take the top 15 stories in your engagement, about 30 to 33 stories, more or less how it lines out throughout the day, and we'll pick 8 of those stories presented to you here. Will we talk about The Rock, who has been appointed to UFC's, WWE's, TKO's group board of directors? Hard to read that one, but TKO bought out UFC and WWE. So it's a big combat sports sort of company with both the people punching each other for real and the people throwing fake punches. I'm sorry, those are predetermined punches at each other. I'm a big WWE fan, as I told you already. So there you go. But the big deal is The Rock is now a part of its board of directors for TKO. And with that, The Rock gets a really big bonus, his name. The WWE, or TKO, has now officially given Rock the rights to The Rock. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson can officially call himself The Rock in all official business for himself going forward. Pretty big deal. Will we talk about that coming tomorrow or other things that you've deemed conversational based on your engagement? You let me know by going to our feeds and letting me know what stories are the good ones. This is a good sponsor to talk about right now. This is Blinkist. Blinkist is a great app to use for all you folks who are short on time. Now, this is kind of hard to say today as we're running a little longer than normal, but if you're short on time and want to do something like read more books, I have a deal for you. Or technically, Blinkist has a deal for you that can help us all together. Go to our website, use our affiliate link for Blinkist. This is a conversationproject.com/BLINKIST. This is conversationproject.com/Blinkist. When you go to Blinkist and install the app, you will have access to a slew of books. Great books, nonfiction and autobiographies that are cut down into blinks. These blinks are essentially the pure essence of the materials. It gives you quick routes to get to what the book's all about. So a normal book that would take you 4 or 5 hours to read or listen to in audiobook form can be read or listened to in about 15 minutes. A book that may be unabridged, that may take you literally days because it's about a 23-hour direct read, can be listened to in about 30 to 45 minutes. Full books, full great books in less time. And you can share your love for books with other people by going to Blinkist Spaces, creating a space, sharing a book with other folks who don't even have to buy the app, and you can have them listen and you can share your discussions there as well. But you have to get the app, and to get that, use our link at our affiliate link. This is conversationproject.com/Blinkist from our website. This gives us a small commission for you installing the app. So check it out. You will fall in love with it. I use it daily. I listen to a book on the way to work because it takes about 15 minutes, and a book at night before I go to bed because it takes about 15 minutes, and I get more books read in there. And so I get more knowledge in there and get caught up on things that I would normally not have a chance to do because of Blinkist. You check it out as well. Check out our sponsors link at our website for other sponsors, but please take a look at Blinkist. Take a look at our website in general because we want to talk to you about that right now. The Conversation Project lives online at this. It's conversationproject.com, where you can find us, all of us, all the stuff about us at the Conversation Project. And what you will find there is links to various things going on. Now, if you're watching the video today, you've already seen some things that are changing. You can email us, which has nothing to do with the website, but is attached, theconversationinbox@gmail.com, and let us know what you think about that stuff, or just let us know what you think about what we're doing in general. Maybe you want something back that you didn't see today. Maybe you want something added in that you've not seen yet. It's there as well. You can go to our feeds. You can go to watch replays of this in both watch them, listen to them, or read the links directly. You can find the links to sign up for our newsletter so you can get this directly into your inbox every day. You can sign up for where we are on YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. And you can go to what we call our partnerships page. This is a page that allows you to partner up with us directly to help us get more things done. We thank you for all you do, but the most important things you can do is go to our feeds literally all day, every day, whenever you get a chance to, Monday through Sunday, all day. So let us know what stories you're talking about daily and on the weekends as well. And emailing us with all your feedback at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. So it looks like we actually caught up on time, so we're not doing too bad. Let's get to the fun stuff for the day. We promise you fun stuff every day. It is here, it is now. We always start off with birthdays, and we're starting off with America's sweetheart, Mary Lou Retton, who right now people are questioning Mary Lou Retton and her sweetheartness. The 56-year-old is good for that. Is having some issues where her and her family are facing questions. She received nearly $500,000 donations following a pneumonia hospitalization. Almost said pneumonia. Almost did it. But they're not really saying how it's being spent. She is, she was apparently in need of funds for treatment. People, because they love her, gave it to her. But now they're kind of like shying away and like, yeah, well, we don't want to explain why there's Bentleys in the yard anymore. They're not Bentleys in the yard. But the family doesn't really want to talk about the money and how it's being spent. So people are questioning it, but they still love Mary Lou Retton, the former Olympic gymnast and America's sweetheart. If it's not, Simone Biles now, or Taylor Swift, or one of those people. Also, birthday wishes to Ed Helms, who's 50, and Mishka Barton, who pretty much only did the OC and did Dancing with the Stars, but pretty much nobody cares about her except for the OC, who's 38 years old. That make you feel kind of old-ish as well. Today is actually American Beer Can Day, but that's not our celebration for the day, but we are going to use that for a history lesson. The first canned beer went on sale on this day in 1935. The first month, 24th day in 1935, first canned beer. American Can Company, oddly enough, and Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company had a collab back in the day, made 2,000 cans of Kruger's finest beer and Kruger's Cream Ale, and it was an immediate success. And since so great that by the end of the year, in the 35, pretty much all major breweries were doing cans, which made it a bit more convenient, easier to carry around. Now, bottles are still very popular, but you can do the bottles versus cans. I prefer bottles myself, but cans are much easier to carry around, and of course, easier to recycle if you believe they actually recycle them. Oh, by the way, the first Macintosh computer went on sale today in '84, so that happened as well. But the innovation we're talking about are the beer cans. Also, peanut butter. We are going to celebrate Peanut Butter Day because peanut butter and maybe jelly time, but it's definitely peanut butter day time. Recognize the American staple in our pantries, whether it's creamy, chunky, with chocolate, or without peanut butter and jelly, or maybe some bananas. Right now, Sonic has a peanut butter bacon burger going on right now that apparently is pretty tasty. I'm not tasting it, but apparently it's pretty tasty. Apparently that savory and sticky goes well together. Peanut butter is a great thing to have. So get yourself a jar, get yourself a spoon, just eat it straight from the jar. That's how I love to do it. It is wonderful. It is the peanut butteriest. This. And that's it. Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you for being with us for the Conversation Project and specifically for Things You Might Have Heard. We do this every single weekday morning, about 5:50 in the morning. Hit the press button to do it live. It hits the recordings and you can replay it anywhere you want to find it. We're on X. We're on X. We're just like Mr. Beast, except we didn't make $250,000 in our first video. It's there. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're doing TikToks and YouTube shorts all in the day for hot takes that you may love or you may hate. Let me know those as well. And we need you to follow us on our feeds to tell us what stories are really important to talk about. Simple. On Facebook and Twitter, follow us and see what stories are there to give us the lay of the land. Consider being a partner to help us get things done. Make sure you're staying limber, hydrated, and on task for all the grand things you're here to do. And let's do this again tomorrow. Let us know what you liked about today's changes, including if you're watching the hat, hadn't got a haircut, so we're just going to wear a hat for a couple days. And let us know how you like what's going on, or if you want to bring some things back, or bring some things back from way back. We're looking for feedback at our email address, conversationinbox@gmail.com. In the meantime, let's get out of here. Enjoy your Wednesday.